Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
Hey, good day, good day. Welcome to another episode of the Bobby Brown Show. It's been a while since I've been here. I've been really trying to build up an online presence on TikTok. But I'm trying to build a presence there, real quick videos and things like that. But I want to get into this. I'm not going to waste your time, but it is good to see you up here. So make sure you like, subscribe, share. All right. So, this election has been tuning me out for the simple fact that there are too many people that are going too far and too extreme in their cult-like behavior. I've come to the conclusion that these political parties are literally cult groups, and they brainwash people into committing to that cult group, willing to give everything to follow the vision of the cult group. They have the cult leaders, cult members, some stronger than the other, and they literally will put you in a position, and you can go watch my video I did on TikTok about that. They really would choose the party over the people that they love. This stuff is getting out of hand. It's getting too extreme. There's no way in the world I'm going to let my political differences stop me from loving you. But some people, they're really literally breaking out and falling out in relationships because of political parties, or because of they bought into this thing about they're anti-democracy, we're democracy, and vice versa. And I'm going to talk deeply more about this subject because this got to stop. This is what's going to cause issues in the future when it comes to Americans in general. It's going to cause us to become unstable, and it's going to make us a target of attack. And we need to stop this mess. Attacking one another isn't. I ain't got to agree with you. I ain't got to. That's why I'm going back to the points where I'm not telling you who I'm voting for. I'm going to expose these politicians as much as I can, and you make your decision. And a lot of people say, why you don't never expose Trump? I mean, I'm not a Trump supporter, and I'm not going to ever be a Trump supporter. But that don't mean I'm automatically a Kamala Harris supporter or a Democrat. I'm neither one. But I really exposed the Democrats because they're the most hypocritical one. How you going to talk about how trashy these people are policy-wise, and they are, and you are just as trashy? How you going to tell somebody morally-wise how trashy they are, and you're just as morally trashy? We all got moral trash and moral trash that we got to clean up. Don't let it just stay there and stake up the place. We got to clean it up. So the big one, I'm going to talk about the other one about the Fox News host that said the word colored when it clearly said college too, but people want to make it seem like, no, he didn't say colored. He said college. And I'm saying, what if he did say colored? Y'all the main people talk about people of color, and he said colored? Yeah, well, you know, colored is a racist term. Well, we were called colored people at one time. And then when more people came into this country, they all were called colored people. Then they start changing it from colored people to people of color. The term people of color to me is no different from colored to people in my book. I don't like it. I don't want to be a part of people of color or colored people. But you guys seem to pick colored over colored people as if that's not just as derogatory as colored people. But we'll get on that in a minute. But so Trump goes out and do a speech with Turning Point. Not a fan of Charlie Clerk, not a fan of Turning Point. Some of them, the extreme religion, Christianity can be a bit extreme, but some of it still have the basic underlying foundation of Christianity. I'm a Christian, and there's still a basic foundation of Christianity is that our commitment is to Jesus Christ and his teaching. Our commitment is not just to Jesus Christ and his teaching. Our commitment is to the biblical teaching of the scriptures, of God himself, the Father. Jesus is the Son. So we don't just listen to the teachings of Jesus. We listen to the teachings of God. And it's a little bit more than that. So Trump goes on to Turning Point, and he started talking about election. And people said that, he said that there's not going to be some more elections. So I said, let's go take a look at this. Let's go over here and look at this, because I got the video right here. Did Trump say that we're going to end voting? See, this is what I'm saying. People are getting they so fearful, so scared, so afraid, and the cult leaders drum that up in the mind of the cult members. Fear, intimidation, shame, afraid. They do that on both parties, the left and the right. They drum that up. Say on the right, fear, these radicals, socialists, communists, they're going to take over the country and America's not going to be no one. We got to do that. And then the same thing, oh, these Nazis, these fascists and blah, 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 blah. And this is what caused attention to a point that somebody attempts somebody's life. And we got to stop that. It's going to go from that to personal attempts. You're going to hear about people personally attacking, physically attacking, and harming somebody because of their political difference, which is dumb. At the end of the day, these people don't know you, don't love you, don't trust you, can care less who you are. You die today, drop dead, they're not going to call your family. But you act like you're going to die for them. Now, let's listen to this. Did Trump say, I'm going to end voting?
Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again.
Now, let's start there. Now, he's encouraging Christians to get out and vote. He's encouraging Christians to get out and vote. Christians are like black people in the midterms. They don't get out and vote. He's encouraging Christians to get out and vote for him. Just this time.
Just this time.
What do you mean just this time? He's saying just this time, get out and vote for me. Trump only got 4 years. He can't do another term. He already did 4. He could do another 4 and that's it. Trump could care less about the future. Now, I see where you figured that this seemed like he's going to end voting. You don't have to do it no more. It'll be fixed. I get that. I see. If you're thinking that, I can see where you got that thought from.
You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christian.
You don't have to vote no more, my beautiful Christian. So does that mean he's going to take away voting rights if you vote him in? Once he get in, you don't have to worry about voting. I'm going to be king.
I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote.
Somebody told me, he said, I'm not a Christian. It sounds like I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian.
I'm a Christian.
I'm not. It depends on your interpretation. It depends on how you see anything. If you don't like this guy and you're looking for a reason to not like this guy, anything that you want to make you have another argument against this guy, you're going to get it because the way you think and the way you hear what you hear. And that's just the way it is. That's how it is when you get on the bias side, especially when you get over into hate and frustration and fear. Anything what you see and what you hear can be deceptive because hate is blinding you. You're looking for a reason. Hate is like crack cocaine. Once you take a hit of it, you're going to want more of it. Some of it going to come just because the hate get fueled. It's like a fire. You're pouring gasoline on the fire. So you're looking for more gasoline on this fire because if you don't get none, the hate might die out.
In 4 years, you don't have to vote again.
All right. So he said in 4 years, you don't have to vote again. Now, does this mean, because everybody's on an uproar, I see people all over the internet making a big fuss about this. Does this mean that he's going to end voting just like they said in Project 1999? He's going to end voting and he's going to dub himself king. Well, let's go into this video in detail and see what Trump is really saying.
Christians have to vote. You know, I don't want to scold you, but you know that Christians do not vote proportionately. They don't vote like they should. They're not big voters. You know who else aren't voters? The NRA endorsed me very powerfully. Strongest endorsement they can give. National Rifle Association. People that own guns and rifles are not big voters. They have to vote. If you don't vote, we're not going to win the election.
Now, in this, you're going in the defense of Trump. I'm in the defense of truth. I don't give a crap about Trump. I don't give a crap about whoever's running the Democratic Party, third party, and all that. I really don't care. I've come to the conclusion all these organizations are cult, and their job is to brainwash you and manipulate you into keeping them in power instead of you realizing that you're the power and you take a stand for yourself and take the power back. And when there's a politician that believes that and start to stand up against that, you lose your freaking mind. Now, in this video, he's saying, look, Christians and the NRA, y'all don't get enough and vote. Y'all want me in power, but y'all don't y'all don't want me to vote. I mean, y'all don't get out and vote. The key word is he's encouraging voting. He's always encouraging voting. Both sides does that. They realize they can't get in power without voting. Kamala Harris does it. Joe Biden does it. And they come up with many ways to vote. That's how encouraging they are. Now, in some cases, people want to have the advantage in voting. So they'll come up with easy ways to vote. And I'm all for easy ways as long as it's right. Like I believe that you should be able to register and vote the same day. I believe you should have a day off to vote. That way you don't have to worry about whether you should go to work or not. Those are my principal beliefs. Those are my left-wing beliefs. But I am conservative in voter ID. I live in New York. Anybody can get an ID in New York. There's no excuses. Even an immigrant can get an ID in New York. Now, I don't encourage and I'm not for immigrants voting. If you're not a United States citizen in this country, you don't have a right to vote in this country. That's my, I guess, conservative point of view, but that's just right. Only U.S. citizens should be able to vote in the United States election. What I look like being a non-U.S. citizen in Ghana voting for their president, and China voting for their president, that's not my culture. That's not my jurisdiction. But clearly here Trump is telling them, and again, me being not biased, being fair and balanced, he's encouraging Christians to go vote because Christians don't vote. A lot of Christians don't vote.
Christians are a group that's known not to vote very much. You have to go out, at least this election. Just get us into that beautiful White House. Vote for your congressmen and women. Vote for your senators.
He said, if you're not going to vote, because we know you don't, just like black people in the midterms, if you're not going to vote, and then we got a certain segment of people that don't vote, like other segment of, all right, we get it. You don't like to vote. But this is the time to vote, because once you get me in the vote, I'm going to do something great. Or, in some people's cases, if that person get in office to vote, he's going to die, so vote for us. Whatever you got to do, go out there and vote so we can fix the situation. We know you're not used to voting, and we want you to continue to vote, but just vote me in this one time.
Vote for your congressmen and women. Vote for your senators. We will change this country for the better. This country will be great again like never before.
He's saying vote for your congressman, vote for your senator. He didn't say vote for right or left, red or blue. He just say vote. Now we know he's trying to encourage people to go out and vote people that's going to support him, but that's what he's supposed to do. I expect Kamala Harris to do the same thing now she's running as a presumptive nominee, to go out and tell people to get out there and vote. Vote for vote down ballot and vote up ballot. Don't miss out on this election. We know you're not used to voting. Look how they treating us men. Men, you need to come out and support, empower black women. Find out. I seen Roland Martin's shirt. And see, at the end of the day, if you ain't got nothing on the policies for my people, and it's not going to change, and I don't care what kind of fear tactic you have to come in my way to try to fear me into voting for you, it's not going to work, and it's not going to work on a lot of people. Look, especially black people, we're not playing those games no more. You better have something on that table. You want me to get out there and campaign and vote for you? I need to see a track record of where you did something for my community. You better not have no shady past of treating my people like trash. And you better have a plan for the future for my people. And you better advocate it in this election. That goes for Donald Trump. That goes for Kamala Harris. And you better be talking about reparation with cash payment. And you better be talking about a black agenda, because this is not going nowhere until we get it. This is our laser focus. We're not getting off of this. No black agenda, no vote. No reparation with cash payment for foundational black Americans, freedmen. You ain't getting our vote. I don't care how fearful you are of Trump. I don't care how fearful you are of the commie Kamala Harris. I don't care how fearful you are of fascist Trump. That don't concern me. Those are just deflectors. Those are just tactics to get me off focus of my mission. And this is another one. Y'all talking about this stupid mess, and I got to come out and clear
This
it.
election, most important election
Keep
ever.
going.
We want a landslide that's too big to rig. If you want to save America, get your friends, get your family, get everyone you know, and vote. Vote early.
He want them to get out there and give him a landslide that's too big to rig, because he still believe that ain't no way Joe Biden beat him. And I kind of low-key believe that too. I don't want him as president, but Joe Biden, get out of here, man. But fear tactics. People fear. They figure if we use intimidation and fear to get people to the polls, we can use that. But it's not good to use that. It will bite you in the behind in the end. You need to have something where people can believe in and get out and vote. See, Bernie Sanders had his platform back in the day, and that encouraged people to come out and rally. But if you didn't clip them off at the knees and rigged elections against some Democrats, talking about fascists, talking about extremists, where you and the corporation known as the DNC rigging an election against somebody that might get something done, just to keep your favorite in there, because at the end of the day, you pick who gets to run for office, because that's what they proved in the lawsuit between the DNC and the people who supported Bernie Sanders. They said it in the law, in the papers, that they are a corporation and they, at the end of the day, picked the nominee. Dang, the freaking people. That's why they got delegates. Trump is saying, get out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote. It's Obama. Look here, get out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote. Vote from the mountaintops. Vote from the sea. Vote from the land. Vote from the free.
Vote on election day. I don't care how, but you have to get out and vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time.
He's encouraging voting early. He's encouraging voting absentee. He said vote on election day. I don't care how you get out there, but get out there and vote. He's doing what every politician would say. I expect Kamala Harris to say the same thing. Get out there and vote. But I'm telling you two turkeys, if you ain't got no real concrete reason for me to vote you in, why are you asking me to get out there and vote? I'm not voting for you for nothing. And that's the problem with us black people. We keep giving you our vote. We're slut voting. We keep giving you the nappy dugout, keep letting you hit it and hit it and hit it with no commitment to us. With no commitment. It's like my former girlfriend. I used to talk about my girlfriend all the time. You know, we've been dating 3 years. I mean, I was going to rev it up the 4th year, but certain things happened while we were dating. And I had some personal issue with death in the family where I couldn't do things with her that she liked to do. And it automatically means that I'm not interested. But she have every valid reason to say, hey, blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't see no commitment here. Well, the commitment was there. It's just not how she wanted it. You know, and we end up breaking up. So brother is free. But no, at the end of the day, everybody wants something for their commitment. You don't commit to anything without an exchange. And these political parties want you to commit to them without an exchange. They want you to give them their vote, but they don't want to exchange. They don't want to do nothing for you. Trump ain't talking about what he's going to do for black people. That's why I don't see why you Trump nut huggers just love on Trump. But like I said, I can rock with some policies of Trump. I live in New York, man. There's some things that Trump said he's going to do. I'm like, I can get with that. Don't mean I'm voting for him, but I can get with it. You know, some things I don't see much on the Democratic, because some of this stuff I don't support. You know, but if they come up with, look, whoever come up with a black agenda, who pushes our black agenda, who support reparation with cash payments, that's who I'm rolling with. It's business. It's business, baby. It's nothing else. My vote is a business exchange. Some people take it as a freedom exchange. Well, when you already got a whole bunch of freedoms, you got to make a business exchange to get more freedom. Sometimes freedom got to be bought. And lives blood being shed is a payment for freedom. So whatever it takes, I'm dying on this sword. I don't care who's in charge. I'm on your head. If you don't support black people, if you don't have an agenda for foundational black Americans, look, I'm not talking about all black Americans right now. The foundational black Americans need their reparation. I mean, we'll work on all other black people once we get ours, because this country owes us. My country don't owe you nothing. So since you here, I expect you to get on board with our what we got going, and then once we get it, then we'll go ahead and start working on the diaspora worldwide. But we got to get this done, and we're going to get a victory. In order to get a victory, we got to be laser focused. So dumb stuff like this, people making a big deal about what somebody said or didn't say, or what somebody heard with their own ear. Oh yeah, he did say no more voting. The man is clearly saying, once you vote me in, you can go back to your lazy voting, Christians. But this time, get up out your seat. He's yelling like Busta Rhymes at the Essence Fest. Nobody want to listen to him, so he got to yell and scream to get people motivated to get out there and vote.
Vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote. Just this time.
Just this time.
You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian.
Now, let me reiterate this. Get out there and vote. You don't have to vote no more. In other words, he's saying, look, it don't mean he ain't nothing he said in there saying, I'm going to get rid of voting. You ain't going to be able to vote no more because I'm going to be king. No, he said to you, Christian people, you don't have to get out in big numbers like you normally do, because we know this is something that you don't like to do. But I need you to do this now because I got to so-called bring this country back. I don't agree with some of the stuff that he's talking about, but at the end of the day, the man is encouraging them to vote. He's encouraging Christian and the NRA, hey, you don't vote. I need you to vote this one time. I only get 4 years, but believe me, you vote me in the 4 years, I'm going to make it where people are going to vote for Republicans so much that your vote won't even matter, even though you still need to vote. You still need to, now I'm adding that part. You still need to vote. You still need to, you and the NRA need to vote. Just because you're giving up money and stuff don't mean nothing. That don't give us power. You got to get out there and vote. Taking your money alone and having the feel good feeling that you endorse me is not alone. Y'all got to get out there and vote. It's no different from Obama. Look here. He just ain't say you ain't got to vote no more. Look here, got to get out and vote. Vote, 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 vote. Don't boo, vote. Trump clearly did not say anything about there's going to be no more elections. He did not clearly say anything that he's going to have a pathway to be king and that this is going to be a monarchy. The man clearly said, and I'm not a supporter. I really have my issues with this guy in a whole lot of ways. I live in New York. I'm sure not a supporter of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden or the Democrats. I think they're the strongest political coat out of both coats. The way people are acting right now is insane. Before Joe Biden bowed out, I heard somebody say, I don't care if he got doo-doo poop in his pants. I'm going to get him to be president because our democracy is at stake. Who told you? Our democracy is always at stake. That's why you don't let up on it. And none of these political leaders going to save it. Seems like every time they claim to be saving it, they make it worse. You forcing me to do things I don't want to do. You telling me I got to lose my job if I don't have a vaccine card. I can't go out and eat in different restaurants because I don't have a vaccine card. And at the end of the day, the vaccine wasn't stopping nobody from getting the virus anyway. But you making me go through this stuff when I didn't have, I tested and didn't have the virus before I went in the restaurant. But you want me to have a card saying I got a shot and I could be carrying it in the restaurant. See, it's a lot of low-key fascism, authoritarianism, and there's a lot of upfront on both sides. And most people don't want to talk about it because they've been brainwashed to believe that their code does no wrong. Their code is not authoritarian. Their code is not fascist. There's no fascists on the left.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
There's only fascists on the right. Psh, are you freaking kidding me? It's just as much. Just as much. Some just more blatant than others. Some low-key sneaky and like to slide that stuff in. You like that prisoner in the slide the ice pick over to your board to shank somebody about 10 times. Versus just coming out on with Norman Bates like that. Stop this stuff. Another tactic that the DNC heads or the talking heads from some kind of think groups taking words and say, see what he said? The man ain't said nothing about ending voting. The man didn't say nothing about him becoming a martyr. The man is just clearly telling Christians in the NRA, two people that shouldn't be together at all, turning points. Christians, what are you doing? You have your own faith-filled, God Spirit-led celebration, and you have both presidents in. And whoever's in charge, you need to speak the word, unapologetic word over these two political leaders, and let them know if you step out of the will of God, God's going to step you, you're going to get removed by God himself. Either you're going to lead this country in the spirit of faith, hope, and love, or are you going to be gone? I'm not putting people, let me tell you something about me. You already know my deal. No black agenda, no vote. No reparation, no vote. I don't vote for evil, lesser or greater. So you're asking me what I'm doing this election? I'm giving you clues. It's none of your business who I vote for. That's why I go in the booth and put a curtain on. I don't even talk about who I'm voting for with my family, because I'm not going to vote Democratic all the way down. I'm not going to vote Republican all the way down. Oftentimes I vote a mixture. I'm going to vote, but that don't mean I'm going to vote for who you want me to vote for. And that's my prerogative, and that's my business. It's not yours. Worry about your own vote. Get your vote up. It's not your job, and I don't know whether it's my job to convince you to and beat you down and shame you into voting for our person. That's not how campaigning, and that's not how organizing works. Organizing work is you take your platform of your politician, go over the platform, not some platform that some think tank says this person has. You take the actual platform on his website and his pamphlets or her pamphlet, and you go over and say, this is the future that they're trying to shape. They want to do this. Bring back a robust housing development program. Whatever policies. I'm not going to go on. I'm getting tired and I got to get ready to work. But you go over the policies. And then you find out if they did these things in the past. Because you're telling me you're going to do something, you never really test it out to see if it can be done. So if you ain't never done it before, then it's a test run for you, and I'm not your test baby. You got to do that on the left and the right. You don't fall, you leave these fear tactics and these propaganda tactics and these shame tactics, and because it's politics 101, dirty politics 101 is define your opponent before he defines you. You got to label this person the wrong person for the job. And now it's getting to, it used to be some limits you can go to that, but now it's by any means necessary. If you got to label them as a slutty hussy to get people not to vote for him, let's do it. If we got to label him as a criminal fascist, let's do it. When there used to be some decorum about that. But no, throw out the decorum. When you throw out the decorum, you just leading this whole entire process of putting people in power more toward authoritarianism. Don't tell me about no Project 1999, because neither one of these candidates endorse that crap. Heritage Foundation always have some kind of crappy BS policy that most presidents don't adopt. And I know people say, well, this person's name is on it. They had it with George Bush. They had it with Ronald Reagan. Every time the Heritage Foundation is a right-leaning foundation, so of course they're gonna be using that policy with the name of the person that's the front runner or the person that has the nomination. They're gonna put their name on it. It's a given. That's what they're supposed to do. They've been doing it for years, and in hope that they take 1, 2, 3, 5 policies that's in there, but there's never been a case where they took all. Even Bill Clinton worked with Newt Gingrich to put in some of those policies from the Heritage Foundation. Some of the policies, you're going to find some good policies. You're going to find a lot of bad policies. That's just the way all this stuff goes. But you thinking if I vote this person in office or this person getting voted in office, this is what they're going to push. No, they told you on their platform what they're going to push. Stop trying to put words in people's mouth. Stop trying to make something. Stop trying to give somebody something that they're not willing to receive. And this is why people are tired of politics, because of this back and forth bickering, trying to claim somebody did this and claim somebody going to do this, all this bull crap. Stop. Stick with the basics. And people, you got to force people, get your mind out of that loop. That's a programming. That is a brainwashing that they're doing. Don't let these people mess with your brain. You keep it focused. You want my vote? Let me look at your policies. Let me see what your policies are. What you're going to do for America. You go to their website. You don't let somebody tell you what they're going to plan on doing. You don't let nobody on the right tell you the left is planning on doing this. Go look at that person's website to see what that person plans on doing. The platform section shows you what that person plans on doing. On the left and on the right. Keep it there. Stop this foolishness. Fear tactic, shame, intimidation. That's all this is. It's designed to get you in fear and get you scared and get your scared butt to the pole. And that's on the left and the right. Communist, socialist over here. Oh, fascist, authoritarian over here. All y'all a mixture, all of it. Just for the simple fact of how you operate your organizations from the top all the way down. Your think tanks, the propaganda that you're going to put out there toward your opposition on the left and right, all of y'all, those are occult tactics. And if somebody talk about, I'm not going to vote for neither one of y'all, or I'm not voting for you, or you automatically voting for somebody else, that's one of those brainwash fear tactics. Say, I'm peep game. You ain't going to use that on me. My vote ain't got, if I don't lend a vote, my vote is me lending power to you. And if I lend my power to you and I see what you're going to do with your power, what you do with your power reflects me, because I allowed that to happen. I'm not allowing no crooked cop or no crooked businessman into the political office. You do what you may. But as for me, the only person I'm voting for is the one I believe going to do the will of the Lord. One that's going to promote faith, hope, and love, and the will of God. Now, I know some of you don't believe in God, and I get it. And as of right now, these two turkeys running. But I can say, I can find a policy on the left and the right that I can get with. If you have a policy on the left and right that I can get with. I don't play these left and right games. I play policy games. I am out of this left-right stuff. I'm out of this Democrat-Republican stuff. I'm done with it. I'm looking at you, the individual, and what you got, what you're bringing to the table. And please show me how you've done it before. That will encourage me to vote for you. Show me where you've done it before and it was successful. And that will encourage me to vote for you. Other than that, I'm not voting for you. Especially if you're a little shaky and you're not committed to supporting the black agenda that the black community, foundational black American community gave you, and reparations. It's a laser focused issue that most black people, if they don't get on board with this, and I can't make them, but it's going to cause us to go back even more. I don't care who's in office, whether it's Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. People say, well, your Republicans ain't going to do it. Democrats ain't going to do it either. None of them's going to do it freely. That's why we got to do stuff like this to let you know, to slap you upside the head that we ain't playing games. We got to do a combination of advocacy at the polls and advocacy on the streets. That's how we always got change. Change happened from the bottom up, from the grassroots. Putting the pressure on these political leaders, staying on their head, doing activism with them and with the streets. Saying that, I'm Bobby Brown with the Bobby Brown Show. I will holler at you later. Peace.